Hello dear students, we continue with the topic motion of charge in uniform magnetic field. We know we have learned in the previous lecture that when a charge moves in a uniform magnetic field with velocity v, it experiences a force F equal to q v cross b, where q is the charge moving in uniform magnetic field of strength b with velocity v. Now, if it experiences a force, then what is the path adopted by the charge in the uniform magnetic field? The path adopted depends upon direction of entry of the charge into uniform magnetic field. Now, three cases can be possible. Number one, when charge enters field at right angle to it, then what is the path adopted by the charge? Second case, when charge enters the field along the direction of the field, then what is the path adopted by the charge? And third case, when charge enters the field at an angle less than 90 degree, that is at acute angle with the field, then what is the path adopted by the charge? We take up one by one. First case, when charge enters the field at right angle to it. Now let us develop physical situation. Now crosses indicate the direction of magnetic field along negative z-axis. This is positive x-axis, and the charge plus q, nature of charge is positive, plus q enters the field in a direction of positive x-axis with velocity v. M is the mass of the charge, v is velocity of the charge. Charge is positive in nature and is entering the field in a direction of positive x-axis, whereas the magnetic field is directed along negative z-axis, that is the angle between the direction of motion of charge, that is velocity vector, and field vector is 90 degree. So we develop this situation and give a language to it. Consider a positive charge q moving with velocity v along positive x-axis, entering a uniform magnetic field B directed along negative z-axis as shown in diagram. The charge experiences a magnetic force Fm is equal to q v cross b. Let us mark it as equation 1. Now what is the magnitude and direction of the force? Let us look at it. Now magnitude of the force, now equation 1 can be expressed as, it is a vectorial expression and can be expressed as mod Fm is equal to q mod v mod b sin theta. J cap, the direction of the force will be along positive y-axis. J cap means it is along positive y-axis. Okay. Now, but theta between v and b is pi by 2. Therefore, magnitude Fm will be equal to q vb sin pi by 2, and sin pi by 2 is 1. So we have q mod v mod b, and its maximum direction is along positive y-axis. The path described, the charge therefore describes a parabolic path SP. Parabolic path SP. From S to P it is parabolic, and similarly from P to Q it is parabolic, from Q to R is parabolic, and R to S again back is parabolic. So it describes a circular path. Okay. So the charge therefore describes a parabolic path SP. At P it experiences force along negative x-axis following Fleming's left-hand rule, and describes parabolic path PQ. At Q, Now at Q, it experiences force along negative y-axis and describes parabolic path QR. QR. Okay. And at R, it experiences force along positive y-axis, along negative y-axis, along positive x-axis. So at R, it experiences a force along positive x-axis and describes a parabolic path RS. And thus process repeats itself. The charge describes a circular path. So when charge enters a magnetic field in a direction perpendicular to it, it describes a circular path given by Fleming's left hand rule. If charge is negative, the circle will be in this direction, opposite. It will automatically come out opposite because of the nature of charge and using Fleming's left hand rule. Suppose electron enters here, then it will describe a circle like this. Now question arises, if it describes a circular path, then what is the radius of the circular path described? Now we come to radius of circular path. Let R be the radius of circular path described by the charge particle entering the field with velocity v in a direction perpendicular to it. Also let M be the mass of the charge particle, then centripetal force experienced acting on the charge particle will be Fc equal to mv square by r. Let us mark it as equation 2, and is directed along radius towards center of the circle. It is directed along radius towards center of the circle. Now the forces must be same. Now the two forces must be same. The force experienced due to magnetic field and the centripetal force must be same. That is, the force, magnetic force, provides the necessary centripetal force. So therefore Fm is equal to Fc. So QVB is equal to mv square upon r. From here we calculate r. So r is equal to mv square by QVB. VV cancel, we get r equal to mv by QB. Let us mark it as equation 3. The charge describes a circular path of radius r given by the expression r equal to mv by QB. Now conclusion is that thus when a charge enters a uniform magnetic field at right angle to it, it describes a circular path of radius r equal to mv by QB. Then what is the angular velocity? Now let us look at the angular velocity. The angular velocity, since we know when a body moves in a circular path, then the linear velocity is equal to angular velocity into radius of the circular path. So V is equal to omega r. From here we calculate omega. Omega is V by r. So V divided by mv by QB. V cancels. So we are left with QB by m. So omega is equal to QB by m. This is the angular velocity of the charge describing a circular path, which is independent of the radius. Circle may be of any size, but omega is QB by m. Now time period. Since omega is equal to 2 pi by t, so therefore add omega is to QB by m as we have calculated. So therefore 2 pi by t is equal to QB by m, and t is equal to 2 pi m by QB. Now time period is independent of velocity of the charge. It depends upon magnitude of the charge, inversely depends upon magnitude of the charge and magnetic field, and directly depends upon the mass of the particle, but it is independent of speed of the charge. Now frequency of revolution, we calculate frequency of revolution. Since f is reciprocal of time period, therefore frequency we can write f is equal to 1 by 2 pi m by QB, or it is equal to QB by 2 pi m. So frequency is given by QB by 2 pi m. Now when the charge enters a uniform magnetic field of strength B, it describes a circular path of radius r equal to mv by qb. Angular velocity is qb by m. Time period is 2 pi m by qb, and frequency is equal to qb by 2 pi m, and it is independent of speed of the charged particle. Now we talk of some questions, numericals problems, assignment 6. Question number 3 of assignment 6. Show that when an electron enters into uniform magnetic field at right angle to it, it describes a circular path of radius r equal to me v by eb, where me is the mass of electron and e is charge on an electron. Compute its angular velocity and time period. Show that time period is independent of speed of the charged particle. So it is the whole article that you have done. Now question number 4. Deduce an expression for the frequency of revolution of a charged particle in a magnetic field and show that it is independent of the velocity or energy of the particle. So instead of speed, it has written here energy, because energy is equal to half mv square, so v is involved with it. Now question number 5. An alpha particle and a proton are moving in the plane of the paper in a region where there is uniform magnetic field of strength B directed normal to the plane of the paper. If the two particles have equal linear momenta, what will be the ratio of the radii of their trajectories in the field? So you write the expressions for radius of the circular path for proton and for alpha particle, and then find out the ratio. Some more questions. Question number 6. An electron is projected with velocity of 10 raised to power minus 5 meter per second at right angle to a magnetic field of 0.019 Gauss. Calculate the radius of the circle described by the electron. So 3 into 10 to the power minus 15 meter is the answer. And next question, an electron after being accelerated through a PD of 100 volt, PD means potential difference of 100 volt, enters a uniform magnetic field of 0.004 Tesla perpendicular to its direction of motion. Calculate the radius of the path described. So hint is half mv square is equal to ev. You have to use this for calculation of velocity of the charged particle, and then find out the radius of the path described as mentioned in the article. Thank you so much. Next time we will take up the other two cases when the charge enters the field in the direction of the field, and then the charge enters in a direction less than 90 degree to the field, and we will see how the path described are. So good luck.